What's up, family? Welcome to Free and Flourishing with Quita. Today I'm answering about seven or eight questions that you guys had about the business that I thought was like really interesting that I wanted to make a video on. So here we are. If you are new to this particular playlist, I'm giving you guys tips and insights about my business and answering your questions based on my personal experience, based on the research that I've done to get thus far, and I'm sharing it with you. So always, always, always do your own research and take what applies and leave what does not. What some of the things that work for me may not work for you, and that is okay too. So let's just jump right into this. So the first question you guys asked is, how do I organize my schedule as an entrepreneur? And I think that's so important because if you do not have yourself on a schedule, then you're just going to be running around like a chicken with your head cut off, doing the things that you just remember to do. So having a schedule really puts you as the business and the business owner, director, in order. So I have my schedule set up around my kids and I have my schedule set up around my dog business. So um my business, even when I do or do not have a client, my business operates from 7 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. All right. So on the days where I'm not booked, I still have that window from 7 to 5. I still have that window to do work for the business. Okay. Now, if I get done early, then I do have time to put elsewhere. But when it's that time, it's business time. My kids' schedule is also around that. And again, like they are a part of the business. So, but when they're not a part of the business or when they're not going with me to these places, they also have their schoolwork to do, which is in that window of 12 to 2. So from that window, and again, you can see how that schedule may contradict with a business day, but really that schedule has been working for us. So from 12 to 2, that is the schooling portion of the day. And then from 6 to 7, I am preparing the kids for bed, making sure they floss and brush, making sure any late night activities is done and wrapped up because bed is in an hour and a half. So I'm also in bed by 9 o'clock. So, yeah. So basically, like I'm working from 7 to 5, and then eh, and then from 6 to 7, I'm getting the kids ready. So really, I only have an hour, 8 to 9. That's if I go to bed at 9. Maybe I'll push it to 10. So I only have like an hour or two before it's actually my bedtime and before I shut down and before I close out. So depending on what I do, so let's say that hour maybe just me watching TV, maybe just me winding down, whatever it may be. Um Again, so that's pretty much how my schedule is, but the day though, day by day it does fluctuate. But I said all that to say, put yourself on a schedule that works for you, that works for your family, so you're not running around with a chicken with your head cut off, and make those lists. Excuse me, make that weekly list so you know this has to get done this week and move accordingly. The next question you guys asked is, how do I not burn out when it's just me doing everything? If you listen to what I just said, that is what you do. If you have yourself on a routine and if you have yourself on a schedule, I can't stress that enough, family. I really cannot, because you have to have yourself on a schedule. When you are working a 9 to 5 job, you're on a schedule. So that means you have to sleep and do your dues, you know what I'm saying, outside of that work hour. Outside of those work hours, you can't just be like, oh, well, um, I'm gonna come in late, or I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? There are consequences for your actions. So you think about it in that way as well. So how do you not burn out when you're working your 9 to 5? You take those days off. You you utilize your days off, okay? You you're making sure that you're taking care of yourself. You're making sure that you're taking care of your body. You're making sure that you're eating enough. You're making sure that you're eating enough protein to fuel yourself. You're making sure you're eating enough foods that provide you with energy to get you through the day. You're making sure that you're hydrated so your body is operating optimally. You are exercising your body. You are exercising your mind by reading, by researching. You know what I'm saying? You're doing a lot of things on those days off or on your lunch break. You know what I'm saying? So do the same thing in your business to avoid burning out. Do those things. Take care of yourself. Use those days off. Use those times in between, those breaks in between that you have. So that's how you can avoid burnout. Like, yes, it's just you, but if you have it set up in a way that isn't like, oh my God, from 9:07 to 9:15, I need to be doing this. And from 9:15 to 9:30, I need to be doing this. And from 9:30 to 9:55, I need to be doing like that. Like, oh my gosh, just raising my anxiety, just thinking about moving that way. And for a long time, that is how I was like when I was homeschooling the kids, like that got old real quick. Like that got very overstimulating. I was very overwhelmed really, really quickly until I started doing the time blocks, like putting it in a time frame. This needs to get done between here and here. This needs to get done within this hour. This needs to get done within this week. You see what I mean? Like breaking it up like that made everything more digestible for me. It didn't seem like I had to do all of this. I had to build Rome and Paris and fix the London Bridge in 24 hours. Okay, so it went from feeling like that to feeling more like smooth sailing, feeling more like I'm going with the flow of myself and my business. So that might take a little while for you to adjust, for you to really read your body and read like, is this just me feeling discouraged and feeling lack of energy, or is this me not taking care of myself? Is this me actually doing too much and burning out and needing to take a step back? So you're gonna have to really uh learn yourself, and that will happen over time as well. But definitely like utilize your breaks, utilize your days off, and that's the best way to avoid burnout. Like, listen to yourself. Like, trust me, I just had to tell my recurring client, not today, because I need to, not only do I have other stuff to do today, so I wouldn't have been able to make the one time, but like in the morning, like I have other stuff to do. Um, and I've been coming home late. I've been, getting a decent amount of sleep, but still like having to wake up early and do other stuff. So, anyways, I had to tell her no, but that wasn't the end of the world because tomorrow, the same thing that she wanted me to do today is gonna just get done tomorrow. So, if you gotta push it to the next day, push it to the next day. But you don't need to push yourself beyond your limit when you're already at the end of your cup. How do I choose tools or softwares without overspending? Here is the thing about the softwares. In the beginning, now again, like to each his own, and every business is different and their setup is different, but in the beginning, you really want to actually weigh and see, do you need this software right now? Is there a free trial that you can try out? If not, do you actually need this software? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it an investment that you're willing to invest in? Is it something that you actually need right now? Um, or is it something that can hold off? Because sometimes you find that if you invest in something too early, you may not use it. You know what I'm saying? Like so much can happen. So I would say free trial the software if they have that option available. If they don't have that option available, maybe choose the most affordable option um that the program or software offers to try it out and see if that's something that you are interested in doing. But yeah, so that's really what I have to say about that one. How do I set the next question? How do I set boundaries in business? This one is huge and so extra so important because if you don't have boundaries in your business, you it's going to be really hard for you. And you're probably not going to like your business, and you're probably going to close your business down or feel like a failure in your business because you don't have a backbone in your business. Um, so how do you set those boundaries? Now, you can set those boundaries with your business policy, have those into play, send those to people, have them read it, and if they don't read it, that's on them because when the time comes for them to confront you, you could be like, "Hey, I sent you the policy, you signed the policy, we read the policy together. This is what it is." Just being unapologetic about certain things. Now, just because you're being unapologetic about it doesn't mean that you're not being considerate. Doesn't mean that you're not compromising. You know what I'm saying? You're just letting them know this is what it is. And sometimes like it's your business. So, but sometimes like maybe whatever you say, maybe sometimes you move your boundary a little bit and do something for them. But that's up to you, because these are your boundaries. So like I said, you set them with a policy. You set them, you set the tone for your business. Like, for example, me, like I said, from 7 to 5, I'm available. As early as 6 a.m., I'm available for messaging. And as late as 8 p.m. I probably won't respond, but I will accept a message. I will accept the message. Um, Probably no later than 7, to be honest, or 5, between 5 and 7, really. Um, Actually, no, I take that back. It really just depends, but from 7 to, I'll take a message as early as 6, but um, if it's like a late night text message, like a 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and later, that message is going to wait to be responded to until morning because that's just we're not texting that late at night with each other. We're not. What's another boundary? My price boundary as well. Like if you don't like it, find someone else who's going to offer all that I'm offering for this price. So that's pretty much how you set the boundary. The boundaries are not to protect people. They're the boundaries are to protect you and your business. Boundaries make it so like people don't so that you don't allow things that you don't want because you have that boundary there. Like, ooh, 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 can't cross the red tape. You can't cross the red tape. Why? Policy. My policy. My boundary. And the more you put those boundaries into place, the more your clients and potential clients will respect that because they're like, I better come to them correct. No fluff, no chitty chitty. Nuh-uh. Correct. They know their value, they know their worth. So that's pretty much how that works as far as boundaries. And yes, people will still try and push them and see, hey, can I get away with this? Ooh, is there a loophole? Can I get, people will still try that, but again, stay firm to your boundary unless you decide otherwise. The next question, how do I create a routine that works for me? Again, I don't have your life. I don't have the responsibilities and obligations that you have. Maybe I have more, maybe I have less. But you just gotta know, okay, start from what time do you wake up? Write it down. Um, what time does your business open or start or begin? Write that down too. What time does it close? Write it down. What time do you go to bed? Write it down. All right, so now that you have that written down, um, if you got kids that are in school, what time do they got to go to school? Like if you're the one that's handling that, what time do they got to be at school? What time do they got to wake up? What time do they got to be ready? Or what time they got to leave and you got to walk them out. So add that time into the numbers you just written down as well. We're going to create like a timeline. Um, if you got dogs of your own, what time do they go out for the potty breaks? What time do they eat? Write that down as well. So yeah, like I don't know your obligations, whatever your obligations are. If it's just you, what time do you wake up? What time do you have your first meal? You know what I'm saying? Like write down the times that you normally do stuff. Preferably like the whole number of the time. So if you do it at 9:15, write 9 o'clock. Um, but yeah, and then you just build from there. You build your schedule around your schedule your natural schedule, your day-to-day schedule. Yeah, family, that one's a little tricky because everyone's routine and schedule is going to be different. So if you wake up at 5, right, and your normal 5 routine is just chilling in the bed until 6, instead of doing that, wake up at 5. Get your face straight, get your teeth straight, get in the shower, get your hair straight, get dressed. You don't have to put your shoes on, but get dressed. Maybe you want to lay in the bed. But after doing all that, maybe you like, okay, I got energy. Maybe I'll prep. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already up. You're already up. So might as well get the day started. So that's pretty much how you start your routine. You figure out what you got to do in the day. You figure out the obligations and the times that those main obligations are are due, and then you just work from there, work around it from there. The next question, what does a productive workday really look like? And again, that's another one that's subjective, like to each his own. Like your day-to-day routine may not look like my day-to-day routine, especially if you don't have children, if you don't have dogs, if you don't have the same obligations as I do. Even if you did have the same obligations as I do, excuse me, even if you did have the same obligations as I did, your routine and your workday and your day of productivity will still vary based on like, did you get enough sleep? How tired are you? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things to factor. So I can't really say what a productive workday really looks like because every day for me is not the same. My level of productivity every day is not the same. Sometimes I'm doing way more today than I am the next day or the day before. You know what I'm saying? So it is different in that way, but uh a real life productive workday for me looks like waking up, remembering to fold my blankets before I haul tail up out of this room, picking up anything off of the floor before I leave out the room. After I leave out the room, hit my bathroom routine up, you know what I'm saying, using the bathroom, face, shower, teeth, affirmations, hype myself up in the mirror, girl, we got this, yeah. Then I take the dogs out to use the bathroom. It's a quick let out, pee poop, smell the air, you know what I'm saying, like 15 minutes. Bring them back in, prepare for their breakfast. Depending on what I have in the fridge, depends on if I'm cooking or the kids are having oatmeal or whatever they're having. So prepare the dog's breakfast. Then at that time, it's probably about 6:30. So I have 30 minutes and I can choose to just chill for 30 minutes. I can choose to read for 30 minutes. I can choose to research for 30 minutes. I can choose to stretch for 30 minutes. So I have that 30-minute window to do whatever. So let's just say I chill for 30 minutes. Feed the dogs. Once the dogs eat, I still have that window of time. It just depends. Like, so on a day that I'm walking a dog, um, yeah, but you guys get the idea, right? Like no day is ever the same. Your productivity level is gonna adjust and just depends on your routine, but that's why we have those weekly tasks. Whatever I set on the weekly task is what I focus on for that day, what I can get done in that day. within that time that I have. And sometimes if I'm booked one, two, three times in that day, whatever's on that checklist might not get done. Maybe one thing might be on the checklist that get done. Maybe nothing on that checklist got done today. And I can't say that I wasn't productive because something got done, work got done. You know what I'm saying? So no day is ever the same, and you really can't beat yourself up about it. You just do what you can that day. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to focus on like you really got to get your time management down. Um and once your time management is down, like your productivity level, um, you know, will just be that. It will just be that. But sorry, y'all. That was like a weird question because, um, you know, every day is different. I can't really say what a productive work day looks like for me because every day is different. Sometimes my productivity is just cleaning my room. Sometimes my productivity of the day is just walking the dogs and getting in the right of enough water and food for the day. Sometimes it's making sure that I double check the kids' work to make sure they did everything correctly, to make sure if there's any work that we need to go over or review, things like that. So it just depends on, again, like your obligations and what you have to do that week. But as long as you are doing all that you can with the time and the day that you have, that is what productivity really looks like. That's what it looks like. And the final question, how do I stay disciplined when no one is telling me what to do? Um, I think one of the things about being an entrepreneur is that self-starter trait that's in us. And sometimes, if you don't have a job, it can feel like, oh, it's more laid back, no one's telling me what to do. It's easy to slip into laziness. But how do you stay disciplined? Again, just having that list, knowing that you need to get stuff done and just doing it. And rewarding yourself with free time. So if I do this and I do it, then I will have an extra 15 minutes to myself. So, you pretty much that's pretty much how you stay disciplined. Like you're some days you're not gonna feel like getting out of bed, but you do it anyways. There is no magic trick to it, family. There is no magic trick to it. If I make it look easy, or if the next person you're watching makes it look easy, that's just because they're just doing it and you're watching it at a time where you don't feel like doing it. So they are making it look easy. But some days you're going to wake up unmotivated. You're going to wake up and be like, I just want a 9 to 5. I just want part time. I just want, what I'm saying, easy, quick money. I just want for surety. You know what I'm saying? Some days you are going to wake up like that. That's real. But you remember why you started? You remember why you left that job? You remember the people you were dealing with? Do you really want to go back there, or do you want to just do what you got to do today? So yeah, it's really about a mindset thing. Like I know some of the stuff I say sounds easy to do, but it's just the act of doing it that makes it so easy, even though it's not easy, even though it's a struggle sometimes to get out of bed because I don't want to do this today. Even though that happens, I still get up and do it. So that's That's really all I got to say, family, about that. Um, yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and ding the notification bell as well. Keep on asking your questions, family. I really love doing these segments and sharing my experience and talking about it and being real and honest as possible as I can about it and helping the next person out who is feeling unsure, even though they're sure that they want to be an entrepreneur. They just need that guidance. And that's why I'm here, y'all. And so yeah, like, subscribe, ding notification bells while sending lots of love your way, catch it and receive it. And I know y'all, a lot of the answers was like, just do it, just do it, just be it. You know what I'm saying? But in routine and discipline. But you know what? Here's the thing. Simplicity does not equal easy. Simplicity, going back to the basics, is really where it's at. All that extra stuff stemmed from the basics. If you start from the basics with that routine and that structure because you have that list and the way you handle your time management, yes, it's the simple things in life that we love to overlook. But it's the simple things in life that get us where we want to be. Those small steps that lead to big steps, that lead to big things. You was taking them small steps this whole time to get there. So don't sleep on the simple stuff. And I'm going to keep on telling you the simple stuff because obviously, as long as I'm free, flourishing, and thriving, the simple things are working. And so I'm just reminding you of the simple things that we overlook because we're so busy looking at other people's luxury that we're missing out on our own wealth. And I'm just rambling on. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to send y'all on y'all way. Mwah. Bye, y'all.